evening, everyone. Welcome into the Philly Friday Frenzy. That's right, it's Friday. It's frenzy time. We're talking Philly sports, and there's no Phillies game tonight on an odd Friday with no Phillies post game. So we're just talking Philly sports, Philly topics, everything you want, anything you want to know. We're going to discuss it, all the hot topics out there, the hot conversations you want to have about your favorite Philly teams. We're going to focus heavy on the Eagles and the Phillies. Talk about the Flyers and the Sixers' future, maybe a little bit too, and your feelings about that. If you want to tell me about soccer and the World Cup, and it was USA and Australia today, and what's going down at the the Philadelphia Stadium, they have to call it, whatever reason that is. But ultimately, no Phillies game tonight, and maybe well needed. The Mets series is a team. I said, listen, you can't look past any of your rivals, your division rivals. But the Mets are a bad team. They're not playing well. But the pitching meltdown just on Wednesday and on Thursday does not bode well for the Phillies. And now, are we looking for a number 4 guy? Because Aaronola is a problem. They had to send down Andrew Painter, which, I don't think anybody's shocked about it. I think they gave him every opportunity. I think that Nationals game was his opportunity. I'm sorry, Marlins game was his opportunity to show that he can right the ship without having to go down. And I think they said, well, listen, they had to pitch against some better hitting. The Marlins don't have good hitting, so let's see how he does. And he didn't do well. Got shelled. So I don't think anybody's shocked or awed in any which way that Andrew Painter wasn't around or was sent back down. Hopefully, maybe till after the All-Star break, give him a little time to get his sea legs back, see how he does down there. Let's start with that. I know people want to label a guy a bust, but this happens a lot more than it doesn't. Good evening, Bob. What is going on, my friend? It sucks without baseball tonight. It does. It feels off, I guess, Bob, is the best way of putting it. It feels off. But it's a nice kind of break in some ways. What has happened, Dave? You're be talking with me early tonight. You always come in a little later, so it's good to hear from you. As I said, we're going to be talking Phillies a lot, I think. Sounds like, at least according to my notes over here, my game plan. Talk a little bit on the Eagles and the NFL, but look at the Flyers and the Sixers a little bit too under the microscope. It's big decision time in Philly sports across the board. Phillies and Dombrowski and them have to make decisions what they're going to do with the young guys. Trade deadlines and all that stuff coming up, and are they going to push all their chips in because they're really backed into a corner in age and contracts and with this looming lockout? Let's be honest. The next year is not a definite. I think they play next year, but they definitely play a shortened season of some sort. That's my thing. So now everybody's getting older, and we're no youngsters as it is as a team. Bryce Harper's been struggling lately. I think it was in the last. He's 1 for 22 with 5 walks. Now, Bryce Harper, I think he can right his ship a little bit, but it's not helping on top of the pitching unless it's the top 3 guys, and they go their 7 innings or whatever, and the bullpen, Alvarado is an issue. Let's look at some of the Phillies' moves as of lately. They've made some interesting moves, pitching shuffling, if you want to call it. Andrew Painter went down, as I just mentioned, so he has to get things right for himself. Gabriel Ronconis is still up here, which is, giving him some time. But Hill's up here. He's not doing much. They're not up here. They brought him in from the White Sox. He's not doing much. Garcia is definitely out for the season. He's having surgery. They announced that he'll be undergoing surgery on June 24th to repair a torn right latissimus dorsi muscle, or the lat for all of us. Recover a timeline of 6 to 8 months. So that means he is out skis for the rest of the season, no matter what. As we just mentioned, Andrew Painter has been optioned down. And I'm telling you, that Miami game was kind of their dip their toe in the water and see if, not a great hitting team. Let's see if he can get his stuff together. And he looked bad, just straight bad. They brought up Bryce Wilson, Bryce with an S, not a C, and Seth Johnson from AAA, because Tanner Banks was optioned down there as well, and he was our tried and true guy last year. This year, not so much. The Johan Rojas thing that's kind of flew under the radar after he's serving that performance enhancing drug suspension thing. He tore his right UCL during baseball activity, and he's out for the season, at least to spring of next year. And not that I'm like, oh, well, he would have made a difference, but maybe it would have been a decent trade piece. I mean, what do we have? That's the question. We all talk about making moves, targets in the outfield. We'll look at a couple of those things, or those options. But what do they have to offer? That's my question for your fighting Phils. If you were in a trade Painter, well, that's past. No, at this point, it's absolutely worthless at this point in some ways. I mean, maybe somebody would take a flyer on him, but they're not going to give you a haul for him. Aiden Miller, I don't know if he's going to play baseball anytime soon. He had the RFA. We haven't heard anything since then. Rinconis is playing right now, but it's not like he's lighting the world on fire and making people feel like, oh, I want to have him. Who do you have to offer? Arun Escobar, Dante Nori. These are all guys that could fetch you something, but they're not going to land you a blockbuster deal. So what do you got to do? You're going to go bargain basement shopping. That's Dombrowski's best effort for the most part. Bo Bichette was in town after the whole almost coming to Philly debacle. He's reportedly possibly opting out of his contract at the end of the year. Again, like it's kind of funny. Like I'm telling you, I think these kind of contracts are going to happen, and I think they're good for the team in some ways. There's a plus minus to them. You sign these guys for big chunks of money. You're going to sign them anyway. You probably signed, for, $5 or $6 million more than he would have if he got some, a deal with the Phillies for 6-7 years or something like that, or more. But he can opt out, which it kind of sucks for the team because he doesn't have to stick around. But if the guy's going to opt out, it's because he doesn't want to be here. And why does he want to be here if he's getting paid well? It's because the team sucks. And that's what's going on with the Mets. The Mets are just awful. Juan Soto on the team, and you're still awful. They're saying that the rumors are they'll re-engage with him. Now, my question is, do you want to opt out? Because he's not having a stellar year either. And I wanted Bo Bichette more than anybody. I mean, I feel like I kind of put that in the ether. It's a little bit my fault when I brought it up. Good evening, elephant in the room. I mean, the Phillies are 40-34, 6 games over 500. Maybe this little break in between would be good for the Phillies, this day off. I mean, Trey Turner, he has to go back. I've been watching a lot of video on him, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of comparison videos to this, when he was the Dodgers, when he was just started, when he was doing well here. His mechanics are off. Big time. Big time. And I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's getting older thing. But it's just not good. And if he can get hot, would definitely help this offense out. And they're not moving them down in the lineup either. So, I mean, there's that on top of it. With that loss yesterday, I don't know, the Braves, I'm going to see who's playing tonight. I think we're 7 games right now behind the Braves. And I think because they're 4-6 in their last 10, like this is an opportunity for the Phillies to kind of catch the Braves if that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they're 4-6. We're 5-5, of course. You know, we were 7-3, 8-2 recently. Now we're 5-5. You know, that last Marlins game, sweeping them would have been huge, helpful in that sense. And this loss to the Mets it was a big problem. Like I said, would be catching up to Brem. The Brewers are right behind the Braves. They're only one less game played than the Braves right now. Now I don't know if they're. Let me see if they're going on right now. I'll tell you right now. Because I don't have my normal stuff up here. No. They're playing the Brewers right now, 2-1. Braves are up 2-1. So if they win, they'll be 7.5 games up. So that's my point. Is like you had opportunities. They're losing some games. You could win some and get it back, but you know what are we going to do? What are the Phillies going to do? I'm hearing people about blockbuster trades. You know, we got to trade. We got to do it, and we got to do it now. We got to do it right now. And I don't think they're wrong with the right now thing, but it's not perfect. That's for sure. I think we dodged a bullet by kissing out on Bichette. Anyway, is that what happened? I know I'm missing out, but yeah, is that what happened? We kissed our way out of that one. Painter is in his own head. He needs to shrink. I need to shrink, but sometimes you just need to go back to the basics. I think Cal Kaufman, you don't send a guy down just because he's struggling. It's because he's not able to take the advice you're giving, obviously. You know, and I think that's also part of the problem. Like, he doesn't know how to translate that into his game. Like, a guy like who panics and swings for the fences when he's not hitting well. Situation. Yeah. Kissing her way out of that one. But, like, is there something worthwhile out there? You know, I've heard people like, check in on the Giants. Giants suck. Matt Chapman, third baseman. Let's bring him in. He's elite defenseman. He's a right-handed bat. Makes sense. But who are you giving the Giants for Matt Chapman? You know, like that's the question. I'm like, you got to pay the guy. I mean, he's in the second year of his 6-year, $151 million contract. Look at his contract right now. So that means, what's he getting paid? It's a lot of money. Can they take it on? He's hitting a 252. He's got a 337 OBP, on base percentage, 400 slugging percentage, and he's 737 OPS. He has 7 homers and 41 RBIs. Now, he's not playing in a hitter-friendly ballpark. I get it. But, you know, is that willing to take on, you know, that kind of yearly $25 million? That means you'll have him for 3.5 years, because this is his 3rd year, or is this his 2nd year in his contract? I mean, that's my problem. And maybe the Giants will take a flyer on Bohm, part of the trade option. You know, Dave Dombrowski needs to be fired soon. Maybe. I'm not sitting here like clamoring for him not to be fired, Bob. You know, I'm not. It's. What do you do? Because, like, here's my question: what do you do? with the looming lockout for next year. Everybody's getting older. Age doesn't stop for a lockout. The Phillies are really stocking a rock in a hard place right now. The years alone on Chapman make him a risky investment. That's why he would be. That's why you would be able to get him probably for a couple, mid-level, maybe like Alec Boehm and a mid-level prospect, because you got to eat that contract. And like you said, he's 33 years old. I mean, not that he's slowing down or anything, but he's 33 years old. So you got another 30-some-year-old guy who's making $25 million a year, but is that the only opportunities? Are those the only kind of opportunities that the Phillies have? Because that's kind of what it feels like a little bit. Am I wrong? I'm not saying it's the right opportunity. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but is that the only opportunity? Because I think you have a couple. Here's your few options. You are hoping that somebody hits a little pay dirt, kind of like a Justin Crawford or a Rincones or a Painter, and meshes well with the veterans. Well, right now that's not really happening, right? I mean, Crawford's doing okay, but he's not doing great. He's not knocking the ball. He's not, he has his moments, but he's not setting the world on fire. Rincones either, all that kind of stuff. So what do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? Because the other option, I think, is you kind of have to blow it up. I think people would take a flyer on Bryce Harper. Most teams, from sales standpoints alone, would take a flyer on Bryce Harper and think his change of scenery situation. Trey Turner's worthless, and he's got too much contract left. You want to trade away any of your pitchers, because we're really going to be looking at a downward spiral at that point. Who do you got to trade? Wheeler, who's probably close to retirement. Sanchez, who would get you you get a huge haul for him, but then you're doesn't matter on that haul at that point. Like, you're really stuck in a rock and a hard place. I mean, maybe somebody would take Kyle Schwarber on for his contract, but his contract and his age will make it difficult for people. I'm thinking Pater panics when he's on the mound. He doesn't trust his own stuff. That's what I'm seeing when he's pitching. Just my opinion. Reasonable opinion, Dave. I mean, he obviously is trying to, force locate his pitches, in my eyes, and it's just leaving him in the zone. And and when he gets any traffic on the mound or on the bases, you know what I mean? He just doesn't trust himself, and I don't think we do either, Dave. Here we go. MPTR 1783. MP. I'll call you MP. If you haven't subscribed or all that fun stuff, no reason to trade Boehm. He's on pace for 90+ RBIs and arguably the best right-handed hitter. Yeah, I mean, Boehm's streaky. And listen, I'm not all about Boehm needs to go. I thought maybe they could have got something for him in the offseason, but is Boehm our best option? Because that's a problem. Because he's in his own head too. You're not wrong in your statement here, MP. But he is he can be cold and he can be hot, but he's been more cold than hot. And despite the fact that 90+ RBI pace is great, but it's what when do we need it? I mean, he's been hitting a lot better lately. I'm going to give you that. And I'm not saying but he might be the only option. He might be, somebody might look like, all right, he's been hitting better. He's got possibility. We'll take a flyer on him. Whatever, but I don't know what are the options this team has? Somebody want to take on a young Bryson Stott? Figure they can work with his bat and take his elite defense? I mean, where do you go with this? The whole team should go to a shrink. Let's see. I mean, listen, team's kind of grooving. Then the Garcia thing happens. Then Trey Turner, and then his injuries, and he's back, and then he gets hit again in the calf. Guy just needs to sit and find his head. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. If Turner picks it up, the Phillies eat 50% of the contract. You might be able to dump Turner. would be a little bit over $13 million per year for the team taking him on. It's a big if, Elephant. That's a big if. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know where to go with that one. In the starting pitching, like can the three guys do enough and Nola do enough to keep these guys afloat moving forward and get you to the playoffs? Because then your fifth guy's not as important. But still, with the top three starters, this team can compete in the playoffs. Nobody's beating LA anyway. See, that's the problem. See, MP, I get your point. I'm not let me just start with this. This isn't a disagreement here, but this is the problem. We need to compete. We need a World Series. Like it's not even like, you know, this team has been good and fun in the last few years at times, even in the playoffs at times, but since 2023 that hasn't been fun. It's actually been painful. It's like passing a pine cone. 2024, you got the in 2020, like 2024, you got shellacked by the Mets, which is just embarrassing on its own. 2025 last year, you had the Dodgers, and even though you had no Zach Wheeler, your offense was non-existing. The team still had some fight in them, but you need to compete. And I'm telling you, what I watched with the Brewers is what I want from this team. Team can hit home runs, but just gets the ball in play and gets players on the base path. Because in my eyes, I think a good pitcher can shrug off a home run more than a back-to-back single and a double. Something along those lines. And I think that can hurt a team like LA. Like, what made the team like LA like tough for us, even with our good pitching, is that any guy in that lineup can put the ball in play. And that's what this team needs. But it's like they don't have it in their DNA. And of course, you got Kyle Schwarber, who's a bopper. That's what he does. Bryce Harper uses that to get himself out of it. And Trey Turner, at times when he's at his best, isn't, but it's where we go. Yeah, but definitely a big if Boston did something similar when they traded Adrian Gonzalez back in the day. Turner needs to be back to the form he had last season. Sign me up, Bob. Where do we sign up for that? Chuck, please I'll take that. I'll take it. If that top four part can hit where Harper gets back in form, Trey's back in form, I kind of like Marsh up there. Can I be honest with you? If Trey starts hitting like he could last year, tell me this. I know it's the lefty-righty thing and all that stuff, but Trey, Marsh, Trey, Harper, Schwarber. I don't hate that. Because then Bohm's a number 5 guy. It's not so bad. Then JT's your number 6 guy. And then Bryson, 7. And then Crawford or whatever, 8. Like, that's my point. You can do something with that. I don't hate that. Brewers are the same team every year. They'll lose in the first round. That's a little different. I get what you're saying. I'm not sitting there saying I want to be the Brewers per se, but that's the kind of hitting mentality I would like to see for this team. Get guys on base. Because here's the thing. It's not just about getting guys on base and not, home run. Again, you could shrug off a home run, but you get guys on base. You guys thinking, they're throwing more pitches. They're, you're getting out. You're not letting guys go 7 innings easily, 8, 9. I mean, we saw the stats what this Phillies team looks like against elite pitching. And let me remind you what it said. Let me bring it up here. Shit. This team looked like shit. Absolute shit. Against elite pitching. Outside of Skeens, I'm sorry. The one good one. I understand the Brewers themselves have a problem getting over the hump. Now again, their pitching's getting better. They have better pitching now. This team's a lot better team. I think they could match up with the Dodgers in some ways. They could use a little more steady eddies in the lineup, but overall, that's what that team does. And now, yeah, Mizorowski, who, like I said, can pitch like 102 miles per hour in in the ninth inning. Like, that's crazy. And they have other good pitching, but we make other good pitchers look like amazing pitchers because of when our offense is cold, it's cold. Because it's home runs or nothing. And that's no bueno. And that's, I don't know what to do with that. Like I said, in some ways, in my eyes, it's amazing that they're 40-34 after being, 9-19, 8-9, whatever it is, that when they traded or they let Rob Thompson go. Every team looks bad against good pitching. The only move that Dave can make is get Byron Buck. Now, listen, I like that. I'm okay with that move, MP. You got sign me up for some of that too. But what is it going to cost us? And do we have it? That's the question. I mean, yeah, Mark's the only player on the team, consistent player on the team. But I'll take a Buxton. I'll take a Buxton in a heartbeat. But what's it going to cost us? Because here's the problem. It's not just the today, it's the tomorrow we have to look at. This team is getting older. And if they lose this season, if they don't win the World Series this season, they all get older. And they're all under a major amount of contract money. Harper, Turner, Schwarber. And those are your top three guys right there. We don't know what Adam Miller's going to be. We don't know what Justin Crawford's going to be yet. We don't know what Painter's going to be yet. So relying on the young bucks, and the windows are now, because at what point do guys like Bryce Harper go, I got to make a decision here. I'm not getting any younger. And if I want to, the only thing that's going to hold him, I mean, he probably gets a Hall of Fame career with or without the World Series, but that will be the thing that looms over him for the rest of his life, because it was almost like in his brain, guaranteed. And don't forget, he literally left a team in that year. The first year he left a team, they win a World Series without him. Don't tell me that doesn't loom in the back of his head. Let's look at some other topics here I wanted to bring up. Eagles trades. Are the Eagles done trading? Are the Eagles done making moves? I mean, obviously they're not. They're making some moves, but the Max Crosby rumor has reared its ugly head again. Are you guys on board with the Eagles getting Max Crosby? I like the AJ Espinoza, or however you want to say his name, edge rusher. I think he's got a lot of upside. He could be the Zach Bonner this year, in my answer. Like, he's the kind of guy who we know could be a good player. And I think I really see him as a Vic Fangio type pick, like a little project. We can make him a great player again. They did release Zadarius Smith. They had another guy retire in the offseason after tryouts. Pretty crazy. Now we're talking about the Moro Jamo locking him up, because that plays into the factor of, do you sign Jalen Carter? It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. So if you bring Max Crosby in with Jalen Carter, can you do that? He's got 2 years left on his contract. I think now that you have a first-round pick for A.J. Brown, maybe you can trade that first-round pick. And it was like a three-way trade. A.J. to New England. Vegas gets their first round and probably, a mid-round pick. And we get Max Crosby. And I wouldn't hate that. But it's all, you're going to sign a Jomo, and probably going to get these defensive tackles get paid, man. They get paid. So can you sign him pre-Jalen Carter? I mean, you got some time to wait, but the more you wait, if he does it kind of like Jordan Davis type move, and he has a really good year this year, then you're gonna pay his ass. And like I said before, like if you traded him away, which you know, I'm not saying to trade Jalen Carter. Let me just make sure this is abundantly clear. But like I actually said this about Jordan Davis. Like I didn't think you could sign both of them. I mean, then again, it's Howie. Howie knows how to kind of finagle the money around. But I didn't think they would be able to sign Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter for what I thought Jordan Davis was going to get and got, I should say. Now you're going to sign Ojomo and bring on Max Crosby. I mean, that's difficult. And I like Ojomo. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't sign Ojomo. He had a breakout season. He had 6 sacks and 10% pass to rush win rate. I mean, he's good. He's real good. Can you sign him? I mean, I guess it depends on what they're going to do, and they still keep hearing about bring on more wide receivers. I know that kind of the cheetah thing kind of cooled down, I should say. Tyreek Hill, for those I call him the cheetah. Sorry, because I just don't think you could afford him. I mean, then again, maybe you could. He might be, try to get a prove it 1 year deal. If he's 75-80% of his athleticism, I'd take him. I'll take him. But they have a large wide receiver room already. Got Mekhi Lemon. We don't know what he's gonna be like this year. Got Hollywood Brown, Tavion Wicks, Elijah Moore. I mean, they have him too. So I mean, I think with the Sean Mannion type offense, this is what's this is what it's going to be. It's going to be more spread around offense. I think that's one of the reasons it was easy for the Eagles, not easy, but reasonable for the Eagles to move on from AJ Brown. I know I don't want to bring up his name, but it's part of the conversation. Like, I mean, outside of his ridiculousness, don't get me wrong, but like the AJ Brown would not like being in the Sean Mannion. I don't think he had any interest in being in the Sean Mannion offense. He still would have been the top guy, but the way they spread the ball around, it wouldn't be, you need guys who just want to be guys who want to win something, not guys who want to win something with crazy stats. Let's talk a little Flyers. Draft is coming up. Was it next weekend? 26th. Yep. June 26th. That's right. In Buffalo. They have the number 21 overall pick. It's the first time they are picking outside the draft lottery because of their success this year. Good thing, bad thing, I don't know, but it's true. Then they have the number 53 for the second round. Then they traded away their third, fourth, and fifth round. I think the third one was the Toronto deal. Then the Zegras deal was the fourth round one. And then they traded the fifth round for Sean Walker, I think it was. Then they have a late round, sixth round one, and then seventh round pick. So Danny Briere's words are, everything's on the table. And I believe that's true. I think the success that they saw this year, everything's on the table. I don't think anything's not on the table. And it should be that way. I think they entertain trading that 21st pick. And they might trade up. They don't have, like I said, there's no third, fourth, or fifth round pick. I don't think they're going to go around with those short amount of picks. They have a couple centers, looking at some veteran centers, high IQ centers, whatever you want to call them. You got Oliver Suvanto and Igor Shilov. Um, those guys could fit with how Rick Tocchet has things set up, and I don't think they're against that at all. I don't think they're against that at all. I mean, they did some signings. Dan Vladar, they gave him a $5 million a year contract, 5 year, $5 million. So that's $25 million locked up on him, and that's starting 2027, 2028. By the way, Flyers need a goal scorer. Yeah, they got a new forward in Jacob Gachar. I think I'm saying the names right. It's just Igor Zavargin. He's a 20-year-old goaltending prospect, and he's in the KHL through 2028. So that means he ain't going to be up here. But the other trade rumors are Darnell Nurse, who, by the way, I did not know this until I was doing a little more research on this. He is the Eagles legend, Donovan McNabb's nephew. Do you know that? They're talking about Rasmus. They're trying to trade him, clear some space in roster room with the Simon Benoit. Simon Benoit, however you say his name, acquisition. And John Carlson has been the defenseman. He's hitting the open market and is seeing high potential for him coming to Philly. So it's going to be probably one of the more interesting off seasons because I think a lot of the Flyers off seasons have been like, "Ooh, see how this guy, Matt Michkov plays with the Flyers, or see how this guy meshes with the team, and see if they could take the next reasonable steps." Well, they took those steps. Now last year was fun because there was no expectations. Expectations are here now. Can the Flyers hit those expectations, or grow upon those? And they traded Urson, so he's going to see a new home. They got Joseph Wall, which is probably why they again got Urson and Simon Benoit, and they traded Samuel Urson and Emil Andre and a 2026 third round pick. So, that's a big one with the Leafs. And it's going to be an interesting new look to this team. But expectations are higher now for this team. Expectations are higher now for this team. How confident? I mean, I know it's really early to say, but is there confidence in this team that they can do what they did last year? Do they just they get hot at the right time? Or does Rick Tocchet know what he's doing? I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying, does he know how to get the best out of his men? I mean, that's my question. If the Flyers youngsters continue to grow, I think they can exceed expectations. I think so too, Elephant Room. I really do. And it really would be like good to see the Flyers in the mix again. Like, I know, listen, when they were going up with the Hurricanes, and congratulations to them. I mean, that team just kicked ass throughout most of the playoffs. And rightfully so. And congratulations to former Flyer Rob Brindamore and all that fun stuff. And does it make you feel a little better that the Flyers lost to them the way they did? If it was anybody else, because of the way they just steamrolled teams, it doesn't make me feel better. But I know what people mean when they say it does. You guys want to talk about the Sixers too? I have the Sixers information notes I had here. I took. Michkov needs another year under Talk, and I think he'll have a good season. I put it this way: after the Olympic break last year, we definitely saw something about him. But then playoffs, they had to scratch him. He is definitely a head case, but the problem is how much of a head case. Does he, Nick Castellanos thinks my shit don't stink. I'm the greatest hockey player in the world, and maybe I'm not. I'm reserving my judgment on Matvey Michkov at this point. I hope he is not that. I think he has the ability to be better than that. But the mentality, that's a problem. That we talk about the Phillies needing a shrink. I think that man needs a shrink. Sixers are not going anywhere for the next 5 years. Um, yeah, I mean, I know there was like the who was it? What was it? Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic said they were he's requested an A-list center or something like that. That was his term. Otherwise, of course, media started speculating Joel Embiid as a hypothetical mega trade candidate. But the reality of this is, you know, labeling him trade highly unrealistic because massive 3 years left on his contract. I mean, massive. His injury proneness makes him less desirable. That means you have to have another center who can play center pretty routinely. And people still see him as the cornerstone with Tyrese Maxey. I don't. And then they're talking about we got roster spots and Andre Drummond, Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, guys all need to make decisions on. Goodbye. I'm sorry. They don't do anything for me. And Oubre's a good player. He's a good additive. Quentin too. But I mean, Andre Drummond has his moments, but whatever. I just can't do it. And they're going to be financially flexible again because they don't want to be under. They want to be under the luxury tax. The Sixers. So I don't know what Mike Gansey or Jameer Nelson's going to be able to do. They got the 22nd overall pick. They're looking at centers. And I don't know. I think they're going to keep looking at ready now guys, instant contributors, if you want to call them. Honestly, I love Tyrese Maxey. I say trade him. Trade them all. Trade him what you got. Rebuild this team. I really just don't like with the Phillies. You could make some moves if they could and be contenders today. I don't think the Sixers can be contenders today. From your lips to God's ears, elephant. Nobody. I don't think anybody reasonable is going to disagree with you. Sixers are an absolute mess, and I don't know what they're going to do with him. With them, like Tyrese is getting older. Not that he's still very young. Don't get me wrong, but is his value going down now? I mean, you're stuck in some major contracts. You got $59 million with Joel Embiid. You got $54 million. You got almost $100 million. I'm sorry, over $100 million. $113 million, almost $114 million with him, and then $40 million with Tyrese Maxey. So $150 million with those three guys. The luxury tax is at $201 million. What do you do with that? You got $50 million to play with, and you need a whole other effing team. It would hurt me to see Tyrese go. I really like him. I want him to have success. I would love it to be with Philly, but I don't think it will be. The Sixers absolutely F themselves with Joel Embiid's contract extension. I mean, just completely F themselves. Paul George contract was just way overblown. I would have so much more respect for the Sixers if they came out and said, "Dear Philly, we fucked up. We love Joel, we love Paul and Tyrese, but this team's too far away, and they're not getting any younger, any healthier. We're gonna unload them. We're gonna get some what we can get for them, and start building up again. We're gonna keep VJ, see what we can do with him. But what are you gonna do with these guys? Yeah, the Sixers need to be able to team around Maxey, but he's getting paid $40 million. If you can get $110 million off your books of Joel Embiid and Paul George somehow, go for it. Bring on some old contracts that are expiring, but guys want to unload. So that maybe the following year you can start building around Maxey. But it ain't going to happen. I mean, what are they going to do with the pick? You know, they go get Pate from Arizona. He's a pro-ready kind of guy. You got the frame for it at least. And he's a rebounder, which would be nice. There's that one guy from St. John's, the forward/center. What's his name? Zuby. You know, he crashes the glass. He's a center. He can play like a center. Is he the guy who can allow Embiid to stay healthy? But as we know, it's not just about staying healthy from typical injuries, wear and tear injuries. Crazy shit happens with this guy all the time. His appendix will explode. I mean, it has. He's gonna have a prolapsed asshole. Was his next thing we're gonna hear about it? Like it's gonna be ridiculous. Like, you know, what is it? Like he sneezed too hard, and one of his eyeballs came out of his socket. Like it's getting outlandish with him. Like if this was school, right, and you kept coming into your teacher with these kind of things, they're gonna question you, your legitimacy. Now we know they're legitimate injuries. He had appendectomy. But like it's ridiculous. Like I said, what's the next thing he's gonna do? One of his toes gonna fall off. He's gonna have a prolapsed asshole. Belly button's gonna go from an innie to an outie or whatever. His third nipple's gonna get infected. Like what else can this guy have that keeps him out or makes him need surgery? And a guy like Zuby, can he be effective in the NBA and allow him and fill in the gap and play that center that this team has sorely needed for a while? I know it was a Dalen Swain. He was another forward, high ceiling, kind of that all over the place ball hawk kind of guy. I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting Zion for the Sixers team. He would fit with Joel. But Zion's injured all the time too, isn't he? There's another guy that was like stroked coming into the NBA and everybody loved him and wanted him and all this stuff. And what has he done? What has Zion done? I want to look at his contract too. He's a $39 million, almost $40 million. But his contract runs through 2027, 2028. He's going to be on the hook for $42 million this year, according to Sports Track. He gets a month. He must pass specific monthly weigh-in checks regarding body weight and body fat percentages. I did not know this. And he has future guarantees if he appears in 41, 51, or 61 games in the prior season to unlock further guarantees. But I don't know. I don't want Zion. I really don't. Like, I really don't. I think he's overrated. And then just adding another $40 million some dollars to you don't have. Like, if you add him, you're gonna have to find guys who are gonna play for $1 million. Like, they're gonna have to say, "Hey, Dave Yarnold, do you want to come play? We'll pay $1 million. We'll pay you $500,000. You and I, we're gonna pick you both up. Have you guys come play for us?" And didn't you? You could tell him, like, you did play with Kobe, didn't you, Dave? Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Didn't you? Is the live stream available? This is the live stream. I'm live right now, Ian. So let's kind of go through some things here. Let's go back towards the Phillies. Yeah, I'm in 500 grand. Don't get me wrong, Dave. I'll go out there and huff and puff my way. I'll get back into playing shape. Might take a year. Being 43 doesn't help either. Some old joints. I wasn't really above the rim kind of guy to begin with. But I'll bottle. I'll battle in the box. I'll throw bows. I'll be out there. I'll be Charlie Hustle for you. 500 grand, sure, absolutely. Get a bunch of jerseys out of the deal, some swag. I'll be talking to town for 2 seconds so I look like a complete horse's ass. I meant StreamYard. We're on StreamYard. I use StreamYard. Ian, you're confusing me. We're live on StreamYard. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. We said that video. Man, what did I do to have that back? Oh, man, what do we do? You know what, Dave? I probably still have that somewhere in my EOP archives. I'm going to have to pull that up. Dave Yarnold, so like, you can tell him, like, I got a little experience. Dave Yarnold. Played against Kobe. It's funny, right, Dave? You can say that. It's pretty cool to say. My biggest thing is I said I played poker against Aaron Asher. That's my biggest play against an athlete that went, I played football with, I played on the same team as an NFL running back and Kevin Jones, if that counts for anything. Even tackled him a couple times before I played on the same team with him. Like tackling a Mack truck, but I still did it. Yeah, your famous hairball. Dude, we used to play that all the time, Dave. It was classic, Dave, classic. And you know what? Be proud of it. Own it, right? But my question is, do the Phillies is Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies going to be aggressive from here to the end of the season? Are they going to push their chips in? And do they have chips to push in? Do they make trades with guys who are currently on the roster to kind of fill in some spots? What is this team going to do? Who do they have? Even if Johan Rojas had any trade value, it's gone. Aiden Miller, it's gone. Andrew Painter, gone. Like, what do we have? Like I said, Dante Nori, Arun Escobar. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'll do that now. Okay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for pointing that out. Like, I'm live right now, right? And I'm sitting there going, I'm pretty live. I'll pop it open. Elephant, Bob, Dave, Ian, whoever. I just put the link up in the stream. I will open it up. You don't have to take a camera. You be camera-less. Dave, I know you can talk on the camera. You've done it before. Done it with you. So I feel free to click the link. We'll spend the last bit of the show here opening the phone lines. Do the Phillies? Are they aggressive? Can they be aggressive? And do they need to be aggressive? And I think the answer is absolutely yes, because I don't think there's a World Series in their future if this doesn't happen. I mean, like I said, you lose Bohm off the books next year. What else? What else you got? Nothing. Still have the same team as you did this year. You know, like, what do you do? And then you got to talk about paying Brandon Marsh the way he's been playing this year and last year. Guy's top freaking dog right now. Oh, here he is. All right. Let me pull him in here. First caller of the night. My man Ian. I gotta apologize to him because I had no clue what he was talking about.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, oh no. I was like, how do I describe this? But like, oh yeah, the phone lines they're open on. I'm looking at everything else that was going on. I'm like,
I thought you were asking if I was live at first. I'm like, yeah, I'm live.
No, I mean the this part was like when we usually do our chats.
Yeah, no. Now thank God Bob's smart enough to. Bob, I gotta get Bob a producer role or something because he said, Al, he wants to have you opening up the phone lines. I'm like,
I should have just said the phone lines. I'm like, because I'm used to just saying like StreamYard and everything else like that.
Yeah. Because you're like, oh well, are you live streaming? I'm like, it's exactly what I'm doing. So what do you got for me? Because I know you're a big soccer guy.
Oh yeah, for the first time ever, we had 2 Delconians. The starting goaltender, Matt Freese from Wayne. He started today. He performed a great shutout. And then Media Zone, Austin Trusty, he got in a good chunk of time in over the Aussies. Now, this win also means they qualified to the knockout rounds. It's just a question on where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's sad that I'm going to say about this World Cup is how they screwed us Philly out of now hosting the World Cup. A 4th of July matchup, possibly with England, because you know how we're going to treat the Brits.
Wait. You thought it could be England and USA on the 4th of July?
There was a chance very early because I heard them actually possibly.
Why? Like the World Cup guys, like what's the name of the people that the governor of the World Cup? They have.
Not the governor. Gianno Fantini is Italian.
Yeah.
I'm
telling me we're gonna have the Americans and the British fighting on the 4th of July
in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
That was the one thing that the American people wanted.
I would actually watch that. Listen, here's my thing is. Hold on one second. I have to fix my mic. Just want to make sure I don't lose you. Hold on one second. It's kind of dipping out. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I tried. You know me, and we've talked about this in person. We've talked about this online. I've tried to watch soccer. I tried when the Union were like kind of really good and like just watching and like I'm like I don't get the game. The game seems just kind of odd pace for me. Whatever it is, I don't know. I have tried and it doesn't click with me. But I will tell you, if it was America versus the British on the 4th of July in Philadelphia, I would be all like, I go get like those like long horn tubes, like
the vuvuzelas that got banned, yeah,
whatever they are, and like I have the soccer scarves on. I'd be going nuts. I would be Mr. Soccer for 24 hours, dude.
Only way that was ever going to happen was if the U.S. ended in Group 3, and then we would have had it because it would be in the round of 16. Right now, it would have been we had to beat Germany, and then we had to take on the Frenchies. And that was a hard lineup. I will have to admit, but the way it's set up now will be most likely Germany versus France. That's going to be a really good game for anyone who wants to go to that one. That'd be high scoring.
Again, unless it was England versus America on the 4th of July in Philly, I probably could care less about it. Like I'll be honest with you,
everyone wanted
that. Ian, I have tried.
I know you've tried.
Even Bob is with me on this one. He can't do it. But let me ask you this question, Ian. Let me ask you this question. Do the Phillies make an aggressive move or become aggressive? What up, Joe? Do they need to? Have they been backed into a proverbial corner? Meaning, like the Phillies. Do the Phillies have no choice but to make a big move, but to make a big splash? Because with the looming lockout and these guys getting older,
yes, I think. I think everyone.
It's like having like it's like playing poker for those poker players. It's like having mid-pair,
Mm-hmm.
but you're like, I don't have a lot of chips left. So
That's also
I gotta push in here. Ian, I gotta push in here because I got no other choice. I gotta kind of hope a little bit. I gotta have a little luck on my side. Are the Phillies in that position?
yes. I think that they're in that position because they need to make some kind of splash, not like a little splash, but either that splash has to be through a via trade or someone in the front office gets canned, because that's something that's going to have to be talked about. Because what is this? Because we're supposed to be contending for a World Series with all this much talent. I know injuries are the problem. I know we still sometimes struggle with our bullpen. I still have questions within the rotation as well. Painter, I still believe he's going to be an ace maybe within a year or two. Him going back down to the minors doesn't mean anything to me because I know it happens to everyone. That's how baseball works.
That really isn't my big bugaboo. I mean, that happens a lot.
For them to make a splash, the question is, where does it come from, and who are you willing to give up? That's going to be the $1 million question.
There's not a ton of depth in the prospect pool as of right now. So, are you willing to sell what's left and move forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think you have to give up like one big guy. Maybe try to get rid of Matt Turner.
Who? You mean Trey Turner?
Scott Turner or shortstop there.
Yeah, but he's playing like garbage right now. I mean, who wants to take his contract on at his age with how well he's not playing?
That's also, I think, going to be more.
We're annoyed with him. We're tired of him, and we're paying him a lot of money. But here, you want to give me somebody for him because, like the names I keep saying that the Phillies are keep getting linked to is Suzuki with the Cubbies, Bleday with the Reds, which he's a kind of a breakout hitter with them. Joe Odell with the Angels, which Dombrowski apparently likes to work with, and then I think it was said earlier by MP. Byron Buxton, who is kind of expiring contract. Do you take him on? I mean, and I also talked about Matt Chapman with the Giants. So number one, this is where it becomes very difficult. The math is it's like the Pepe Silva always sunny mathematical equation here going on. Like number one, you need to find a team that's not really going to be in contention and willing to rebuild or whatever and get pieces in here. That's number one. That's the kind of the easier part to do. The number two is, who are you trading to them? Because they're going to be in the driver's seat to get to if you want this guy. So then you're going to have to be paying for it. And what do you have to offer? And that's a big part in the prospect pool. And are you going to? And the other thing is this guy going to be another 30-something-year-old guy with a $20-30 million contract? Because that's the other problem. Because I think Matt Chapman's 33 years old, and he's about $24-25 million a year.
The only other teams that I could think are struggling right now that are maybe willing to trade a top piece is Pittsburgh, but I don't think they're going to give up Skeens that easily, because that's something we need within the rotation. Like back to the ace problem that we're having.
I mean, right now Pittsburgh's having a banner season so far because they're only one game above 500 at June 19th. That's like a banner year for them. Usually by now they're bottom of the barrel. The Reds are last place, 3 games under 500. So yeah, there's 2 teams that could be. The Cubbies are kind of in the middle right now because the Brewers and the Cardinals are kind of the ones owning the National League and the wild card spots. It's, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. There's no good answer, and it's kind of like a really small window of options for you where you're going to get max results out of somebody who can come in today and perform today and have the financial backing to do so, or the trade value backing to do so. I mean, you have to look who's currently on the roster. Do you have to make a decision about like? Not, I don't think you should, but like, be like, they went Brandon Marsh, but they're going to give us like 2 good players. Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying things like that. Like, do you have to? You got to be smart with him. Do you believe Dave can do it?
I think Dave has to do it, or he's going to be cut. I think that's the other thing I was saying earlier. Like that also becomes the front office, because when we saw they got rid of Thompson, there was a momentum change. There was like, hey, maybe we can get out of this. Maybe we're actually true contenders. Maybe the problem was Thompson. Now the question is it Dombrowski? Because he's the GM in the hot seat in Philadelphia compared to all of them. Like Howie is in the safe zone. He is the godfather of the GMs, not just in Philadelphia, but in the NFL. We all know this. He is safe. Danny Briere showed up and said, hey, I am in win now mode, and started making moves. And the Sixers GM now, I can't remember who his name is right now at the moment. He's the new guy, so he's safe. And then obviously everyone forgets about. They just cleaned out the union management as well because they're putting in a bunch of new guys, so they get the safe spot. So right now the hot spot for all the GMs is Dombrowski, so he has to make a move, even if it looks crazy.
All right. I'm gonna let you go in because I got something on the line here, but I appreciate you, buddy. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you later, man.
See you. All right, so waiting on the other line here is my man, because I have a question to ask him because there's some news that dropped today. Not Eagles news, but Eagles adjacent move, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in a moment. But let's bring him in. Joe, what's going on, Joey? Oh, did I lose you? Joe? Here, I'm gonna give you a second to come back in. I'm going to drop you off and give you a second to come back. If I see your face come back on the bottom of my screen, I'll bring you back in. But what I was going to talk to Joe about is there was a signing in the NFL today. It's nothing about the Eagles, but Titans signed their all-pro defensive tackle Jeff Simmons to to a 3-year, $105.8 million extension with $100 million guaranteed. $100 million guaranteed. We're talking about a Jomo being signed. Talking about Max Crosby possibly being brought to the Eagles. With a guy like that getting paid, what's Jalen Carter going to get? And the guy's going to help me answer that question is this guy here. Joe Hale. Joe Hale, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, living the dream.
Look at you.
I broke my finger.
What's the other guy look like?
A lot. It was at the gym. I need surgery next Thursday.
You having surgery next Thursday?
Yeah.
What happened? Like tear something, or what'd you do?
Playing basketball at the gym.
Playing above the rim, buddy. Joe, Joe, we gotta learn. We can't do that no more.
I'm old. I'm about to be 43 next.
Okay, so you're just a little younger than me because I'm 43 now.
Yeah, my birthday's 2 weeks the following Saturday.
Remind me that Friday 4th we throw a little birthday shout out to you because I'm not for those. So just for programming notes, I will be here Sunday morning, Father's Day, talking happy, wishing. We're gonna talk about the big daddies of Philly sports. But no,
the 4th, the Phillies.
We're gonna talk about what's going on tomorrow with the Phillies and all. But on Sunday, I'll be back with Mike. Mike will be with me, but I will not be on for Tuesday or Friday next week. I'll be on vacation, so I won't be back until after Sunday. I won't be back on until the following Tuesday.
4th,
so,
right?
Tuesday is no. It's June 29th, 30th, June 30th. That's when I'll be back.
So, the birthday's July 5th. Anyway.
You're the July 5th? All right, perfect. So I don't know what's going on with the 4th of July. That's right, it's on a Friday this year. So what I might do, I might talk to Maddie about doing something on Thursdays. Doing my show typically on Thursday. Do like a Fighting's Final show. That kind of thing.
Oh.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Maddie's on a hiatus, but
yeah, he's on a hiatus. All right, he didn't even tell me. I just saw that on the post too. I was like, well, you got hiatus. He told me he actually literally Joe, I'm trying to show it to you. I can't. I got a chain around my ankle. And he has like this trained monkey that comes in and makes me go live and if he'll attack me if I don't talk about sports during this time frame. So like, yet this guy can go on hiatus. I'll tell you.
I tuned in late. I think the Phillies go. Thank you.
Bobby's pushing you early. Happy birthday. Ian saying 30 to 35 million average on a 5-year contract, 70% kind of contract.
We'll talk that first. I think he gets traded. I think Max Crosby comes to the Eagles. I don't think they want to pay Jalen Carter because why didn't he do it why didn't he go to minicamp?
Yeah, but hold on. Let me back you up for a second. I understand him not going to minicamp a little bit. They're trying to rest the big man and all that stuff. I know how they're working on it. If you were going to trade Max or Jalen Carter, Myles Garrett would be a Philadelphia Eagle right now, probably.
So, okay.
That's my big why. Like, if you were going to, unless they wanted more than just that, they wanted him and Nolan Smith and a pick, and they're like, well, no, you're asking for way too much. But what would they get? A first round pick in one of their top defensive ends?
Yeah.
In verse. But my point is, if you were going to do that, wouldn't you trade Jalen Carter to the Raiders or to Cleveland?
I think Carter gets a 4-year deal. I wouldn't go any higher.
Yeah, but he's going to get paid, man. No matter how much we don't want to pay him or do want to pay him,
I don't want to pay.
Paid. If it ain't by us, he's getting paid. That's my point. He's getting paid. I think who's his guy? Who's his agent? Is it Drew Rosenhaus?
Yeah.
You think he's going to not get his guy paid? Drew Rosenhaus has just bought two new Lakeview houses, in the Hamptons or some shit like that. Just thinking about Jalen Carter's contract.
Thanks, Bob. So, Joe, I think the Eagles go after Max Crosby. The Patriots pick in the first round. They're going to offer. They're also going to offer.
I think it's a Patriots pick, and maybe this year they'll give him like a 5th round pick because they got they were going to get 2 first rounds to the Ravens. That fell through. I think maybe a 4th or 5th round pick plus the 2020, and then pretty much it would be like a 3-way trade at that point. AJ to New England got AJ, we would have got Max, and they would have got that 1st round pick plus another pick from us. Like it'd be an extended 3-way trade at that point.
I want to try Henderson better than Max Crosby. He's younger.
Yeah, but Max Crosby only has 2 years left on his contract, so you're not stuck with him for too long. So you get 2 years with him, and you put Max Crosby on this. I mean, here's my thing is, I kind of want Max Crosby because outside of Max Crosby, the Raiders' defense is schlock. Like, let's call it for what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
And he's still performing like at a high yield. Could you imagine Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, all these guys, Zach Bond on right next to him, like all these guys on there with a Max Crosby? Come on, man. He's gonna set the world on fire if he's healthy.
I still think Howie's going to go Cook.
Okay.
I think you're going to go out and sign another safety next to Coop.
Well, they got rid of they let one go, didn't they? Hold on. I think what was I looking at? I was reading that earlier. Trying to figure out. They were talking about something. Oh no, that was I'm talking about Zadarius Smith. Never mind.
Oh yeah, that bum net. How about the Falcons player that we acquired just retired too?
Yeah, what's that? Is that kind of weird though? This has happened more often. Is it just happened more often to the Eagles and we haven't noticed it before? But it's another guy who retired then playing for the Eagles. Now there might be medical issues, mental issues or some sort of, extenuating circumstances. But it's kind of weird.
It is.
Ricky's watching.
Shout out to Ricky. He hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah, what's going on, Ricky? If the Eagles get Max Crosby, the Eagles defense will be dangerous. That's understatement of the year there, Bobby. Understatement of the year. I mean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Max Crosby, Zach Vaughn, Espinoza, however you say his name. I mean, I don't hate any of that. I think for sure you get Brandon Graham back for another year with that lineup.
I don't want Brandon Graham back. He's too old. Matty B said that he signed with the Eagles. He never signed with the Eagles. Hey, Matty B.
No. He did not say that. He did not say that. I usually don't defend Matty B, but I will tell you.
He heard from sources.
There's a source where the conversation has been had that if they are going to discuss and leave a possible roster spot open for him, if he wants to come back, but it wouldn't be until after the
Training
stuff, training camp, and all that.
Yeah, I would bring him back week 14.
Maybe it's in the middle of the season. They just keep him worked out. Maybe they bring him in and he doesn't play a lot at the beginning. Does more of a veteran leadership thing. But I'm not sitting there. We're not saying he's definitely, but the conversation, per source, the conversation we have with him and the team, I'm guessing Howie, that they may be leaving a spot open for him if he wants it. That's all that's said. That's the source, and it's a legitimate source. I can tell you that. That's all I can tell you.
Well, apparently from him, the roster's full. Brandon Graham came out and did say that.
Well, roster may be full.
Yeah.
But the roster is always full until it isn't. They can let people go. They trade people around. If they feel like they're lacking at defensive edge, then they'll do it. I'm saying I think it's what people don't understand what the statement is, that it's there if they need it and if he wants it. But it's not like one way or the other. It's got to be a mutual thing.
I agree with this comment. The Eagles should go and get Kyle Hamilton from Baltimore. I'm okay with that.
Why would they give up Kyle Hamilton?
Go get Kyle. I don't know. It's the Ravens.
That's what kind of answers. I don't know. It's the Ravens. My point is, I don't see the plus. I don't see. I don't not the plus. I'm saying having him would be great. Let me say, what would it cost? I should say, not the plus. The cost of getting him. What are you going to get? You're going to give up that first round pick for him?
Yeah, the Eagles' first round pick. I would be all right.
That 2028 first round pick, you're willing to give it up for him?
Yes.
Straight up, 1-for-1?
Yes.
Why would they get rid of him though?
It's Baltimore, and I don't know.
It's Baltimore, and I don't know. I don't think they do that. I don't think the new coaches would want to get rid of him. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, let's just call it for what it's worth.
Let's talk.
There's no fighting final tonight for those who are known, because there's no Phillies playing tonight. So this is all just the Philly Friday Frenzy. Sorry, I have to do this real quick. That monkey may attack me here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Okay. Ricky saying, let's go Phillies. Maybe a second round pick. Maybe I think I'd do that in a heartbeat. But right now, guys, I do have to give you, I said I was going to do this. Here is the current, because this is what we would be normally doing. This is the around the bases moment, but here's what has gone down in MLB tonight. So the Cubbies just shellacked the Blue Jays 16-2. Tigers beat the White Sox 4-3. Yankees beat the Reds 5-0. Rays beat the Nationals 5-2. That helps us out, I guess. The Marlins beat the Giants 4-3. The Braves beat the Brewers 3-2. Thanks a lot, Brewers. Thanks for nothing. Rangers beat the Padres 8-. Or no, I'm sorry. The Rangers are beating the Padres 8-6. Bottom of the 6th. Houston's up 6-3 over the Guardians in the bottom of the 7th. The Royals are up on the Cards 6-2. The Rockies are up 2-0 over the Pirates in the 8th. There's a barn burner for you. Athletics are up 1-0 over the Angels, bottom of the 6th. Twins are beating the Diamondbacks 1-0 in Arizona, mid-second right now. It's nothing. Orioles, Dodgers in LA, and right now still nothing as well. Sox, Mariners in Seattle. So, guys, the Phillies will be back on, and so will your Fightins final tomorrow, 7:15 start. Another late night Friday game. And this
Saturday game.
Saturday game. Sorry, keep going for Friday. So you got Mike tomorrow and then Maddie again on Sunday for this weird Thursday, Saturday, Sunday run.
So that's what I want to talk next. I think the Phillies go out and make a splash. I'm going to say I would go after a pitcher.
Really?
Yeah, a starting pitcher.
Who you going? Like you going after like a rental? You going after a young guy? Like what are you going after, buddy? Because I got.
I'm going after so it all comes into the CBA and not playing next year.
Okay.
You go after a player to win now. Hey, Scooble.
So okay. So you're gonna bring Scooble in. All right, let's entertain this for a second. Entertain this for a second.
Even though he's hurt still.
Scooble. Let's look at that. He's on a 1-year deal right now, $32 million.
Yes. The Phillies.
He's a rental for the year because he becomes a free agent 2027 and Scott Boras is his agent, might I add.
He's also Harper's agent.
You're willing to give up all your whatever assets you have for a half a season with Scoople.
Yes.
There's no guarantee.
Yes, because that wins us the World Series. Because you got Zach Wheeler.
Wait a minute, hold on. If you can't score a run in the World Series, we saw this last year, even without Zach Wheeler. We had pitching. Sanchez and Luzardo and all those guys did a good job and kept the Dodgers at bay for the second part of that. Like, almost gave the Phillies a chance to come back being down.
Yeah.
The offense doesn't score. All that great pitching is useless. And I hate saying that because pitching will win you a World Series, but you need to score a few runs.
I want to call out Matty B. He wants to trade Brandon. I hate you, Marsh.
Listen, Matty B is still hurt about the Logan O'Hoppe situation. But hold on. Let me ask you this question. You don't have much to work with.
Correct.
I'm not saying Brandon Marsh, but do you have to trade somebody currently on the roster, and are you willing to do that? And I'm not talking like Hill or some bench piece or some guy, take Trey Turner, please. I'm talking like you got to get somebody with a legitimate upside.
Yes, but you don't trade Brandon Marsh. You get rid of Bohm.
Yeah, but who's taking Bohm? He's on his last year of his contract. He's hot and cold. You would have to trade with a team who's willing to take him on and see if you're not going to get much for Alec Bohm.
But you don't want to trade Brandon Marsh.
I don't want to, but you listen to the offer. If they're offering you a couple players that can be good and play now, I would hate to see no, but
I want to get rid of Trey Turner. I would love to get off of Trey Turner's contract.
You and mostly everybody else in the free world, even like Dombrowski. If Dombrowski was able to, get a mulligan on his contract right now, I think he would take it.
So, I was listening to Fanatic yesterday. What would you grade Dombrowski? His tenure. What would you grade him? Horrible. B minus. D minus.
B minus. I was going to say C minus D.
D minus.
Are you saying D minus? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think real quick. I mean, he wasn't part of the Harper bringing him here, and it still wasn't the greatest thing.
The best deal he did was Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, don't tell that to Matty B. But he, I don't know. Yeah,
Your last caller talked about changing the front office. Bingo. Dombrowski's gone. I wish that it would.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, this is what I said. This is the problem here. Right now, currently as constructed, the Phillies are locked in with Schwarber, Harper, and Turner for the most part, outside of them
and JT.
And JT. Well, you need JT, unfortunately. It's the truth. So you have a looming lockout. We know the lockout's going to happen. I mean, most likely they're going to have some baseball next year, but it's not going to be a full season. There's going to be a lockout. That means you're going to get 3/4 of a season at best. Everybody's getting older. That's not changing. You're literally in a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah.
You said you came on a little late. I use the scenario like in poker. You have a mid pair. You're looking down that you have a good. You're not feeling uber confidence with the hand that you've been dealt, but you have no other choice because your chips are dwindling. You've got to make a move, and that's my thing is I think that Dombrowski's gonna have to make a move, and then he'll get fired, and now we're stuck because what do we have?
I don't know what
a retirement home for the Phillies or for MLB.
I don't know what move you make. Everybody's talking about Millville's product, Mike Trout. I think it's going to cost way too much.
I don't know. I mean, listen, his contract is contract,
and he's on the DL again,
and he's that's a big problem. Because that's his health thing. He's like the Joel Embiid. Like, staying healthy will always be his big problem. And then I guess how do I put this? He's just staying healthy and then staying in Los Angeles. I think he felt safe there.
And then he got hurt again. So the saving part is the Braves are not the Braves are the Braves. They're going to collapse. Acuna's out again.
Yeah.
The Braves are the Braves. They're going to collapse. Phillies are going to win the division. They're going to play the Dodgers, and we'll see what happens from there. I wish Dombrowski would take like Danny B's doing. Daniel Briere made a good point on the radio. Flyers are going to do something crazy in the offseason.
I feel like they need to. I think they the pressure will be off.
And I think something crazy is trading Owen Tippett.
Is that crazy?
I think it needs to happen. I think you go get younger.
I'm not saying it doesn't need to happen. I'm not saying is that truly a crazy trade though? I mean, Danny said everything's on the table. I mean,
so hey, Austin Matthews. Phillies aren't okay, Dave. You would.
Well, listen. Hold on. He's saying they aren't winning the division, and I'm not 100% disagreeing with that.
I'm gonna call. What I was gonna call on if he's watching, Kaepernick about that.
What?
He thinks the Braves are winning the division. He thinks the Phillies are getting a wild card.
I mean, is that unreasonable? I mean, Braves have been on a tear for the most part, except for lately. They're 5-5 and they're or 6-4 or whatever it is right now. But I mean, them not winning the division doesn't mean anything to me. I actually personally hope the Phillies don't win the division. To be honest with you,
why is the trade deadline in August? Did anybody realize that?
Yeah, it's pretty much the August 1st anymore. I mean, I think it's because they used to have the trade deadline, and then there was like you could change your lineup because people drop guys or whatever. They have that weird other trade deadline, which is kind of weird how it works.
The non-waiver deadline.
Yeah, the waiver deadline. So
So
I think they just kind of lined them up together.
I'm actually going.
Yes, Ian, we talked about those earlier, but yes, I mean the Flyers did make a trade, but are they done yet? I don't think so.
I'm going to the futures game. Cause tickets are real cheap for that.
I was going to ask you that because I'm thinking about getting tickets for it. The futures game. How much are the tickets going for?
$20.
Oh hell yeah! Let me do that. I'm actually while we're. Hey Maddie, I'm taking a break. I'm on my break right now, on my union break.
It's on this Sunday. Home run derbies are very expensive. The cheapest is $20. And that's on StubHub.
Future game. Oh, here we go. Let's see what's got. We got buy tickets. Let's see. That's where they're at. Let's see what's going on. Because I might drop a bone here. Let's see what's happening on. Right here, live on the air. Nothing says baseball like that, right? Right? I think it's
Totally.
$33 to $144.
That's not bad.
What's 144? That's what I want to know. So let's see. Let's look at this. So
Probably
they have an outfield, left field, section 142. Let's see this. They have anything in here? It's $130. So $20. Where does the $20 up in the So they don't even open up the 300, 400 level. I think for that, right? I think it's only 102 level.
I'm not sure
because I can't even click on those. Or maybe no, they're black. They're blocked off. They don't have a lot of tickets left. Hold on, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see something. I'm gonna buy 2 seats. See, I'm gonna buy 2 seats just out of morbid curiosity. God, they make it so hard to log. Just show me the gosh darn stuff, man. Show me the tickets. No Matthews, McDavid, or McKinnon. Yes. Wait, hold on. Yes on McDavid, McKinnon. My bad. Okay. I was confused what you were saying there. But hold on. Oh, come on. How's that not my password? It's always. We'll do this later. I know I would be able to do it on the air here and just really piss off Matty B for doing this on air. I would show it too if I could. But I don't want people seeing my credit card information. I can't trust you folks out there. Hold on a second. I might be getting in. All right, let's do this. Hold on. You said you paid $20. Was that through MLB or was that like second market, third market, or
MLB?
StubHub. Oh my God! Yes, send me the gosh darn code. Gee, how many codes to get into pay my mortgage? God almighty! Trying to do something interesting on the air here, and MLB's not making it easy. Show me some tickets, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Because I was literally talking about the futures game with my wife the other day, Joe, and funny that you said it. All right,
we're back.
So $70 for 2 outfield tickets, or per ticket. So let's.
I just paid $70 tickets.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I just paid $70 for Yankee tickets.
What are we going to Yankees for?
In Philly.
Oh, sorry. I didn't I was about to yell at you, dude.
Wait, are you trying to say? Wait, what is it? On 94, it's a violation.
Yeah, violation. Oh, I'm a Yankees fan too. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not allowed to be a Yankees fan. All right, hold on. I go back to this because they're being really annoying. Gosh darn it, man, this is annoying.
If I get the code, I'll send it to you. I always get emails.
I get emails too, and I just didn't look at it. And I'm going to say I want 4 seats. See what they give me. Oh, okay. See, the reason is because I only put 2 seats available. And for whatever reason, when you put more seats, it gives some more openings. So I can go 200 level. See what the 200 level tickets are.
We're all going with Big Al.
Yeah, I'm getting Maddie's credit card. He doesn't know I have that. So
well,
Matty B's
I
paying
don't
for
want
this.
to know who the manager.
Happy Father's Day, Bobby.
Yeah,
Big
happy
Daddy
Father's Day,
Bob.
everybody. The manager for the NL, ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Is Boa and Shane Victorino.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was announced today on MLB Network.
All right, here we go. Let's see. 132, 132, 132. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right like as soon as we get off the air. I'm doing this. I'm going to try to get like good seats too. I mean, $130 ain't bad per ticket.
Hey, everybody, we should all go try to get tickets to meet Big Al there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you guys are around, you let me know. We'll grab a beer together. I have no problem with that. I'm actually looking at the 200 level because is that no? That's not the no, is it? It might be. Yeah, no, that's the Hall of Fame Club. I'd buy some Hall of Fame Club tickets. I would personally want to be close to it. All right, we'll talk about it.
They cut out again.
All right, I'm going to talk about it with my wife tonight. But you know what? With that being said, Joe, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to close it all down right now. All right, buddy?
Can't.
All right. I'm going to have to let him go. Joe, if you can't hear me, I'm going to let you go. I don't have kids, but you count me as you pet that, dude. People like animals more than pets more than pets more than people anyway, Bob. So listen, man, you don't have to be it's Father's Day. Your dad, you take care of something, Bobby. You know what I mean? Also enjoying the foreigners, enjoying U.S. culture and food. That's cool too. I've been watching some of the videos on it. But guys, enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go talk to wife about getting these tickets. Maybe I was like throwing this as a Father's Day gift to myself. But other than that, guys, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Father's Day to all you dads, even the non-dads. Just have a great weekend. But I will be back on Father's Day to talk to you guys. I hope you have a good one. Anytime, Joe. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Keep cool. I'm out of here.